Happy October. Hope you're having a good time. You know, Victorian literature is so wordy. This is a report on the habitation and social conditions of the poor, 1844, from excerpt from Bleak House. Hold on. There are some evils arising from ignorance, selfishness, and poverty, which, under any municipal regulations, must be always difficult of cure. Such are the aggregations of the indigent and the miserable. Some filthy from habit, some from necessity, which form receptacles of every prevalent epidemic and the breeding place of the future ones. It is something, however, clearly to comprehend the nature of this evil. It is something more to discover the appearance of a remedy which shall not sink into a hopeless crusade. There are, says Simon, constructual defects of houses and courts, whereby their crowded inhabitants are excluded from a sufficiency of light, air, and are constrained without remission or change to breathe an atmosphere foetid with their own stagnant exhalations. It is an incontrovertible fact that subsistence in close courts is an unhealthy and short-lived subsistence in comparison with that of the dwellers in an open street. Judge, then, how the mortality of such courts must swell the aggregate death rate when I tell you that their population is in many instances so excessive as in itself, and by its mere density, to breed disease. What this density is may be gathered approximately from the fact that within the City of London Union, each human being on average has less than an eighth part of the space he would have if residing in the district of Islington. And small as is this pittance, it is more than double what he would enjoy if living in the district of the East and West London Unions. To remedy the state of things, it would be advisable, Mr. Simon thinks, in the first place, to remove entirely such blocks of buildings as are in themselves incurably bad and pestilential. In the second place, to empower the corporation to make compulsory purchases of house property on the ground of its unfitness for human habitation, it being ascertained fact that no improvement can be wrought while such property remains divided among a variety of owners, and that generally the landlords are deaf to all remonstrance. A third impediment to ventilation consists that cannot be too universally recognized in the operation of the window tax, a tax which, as Mr. Simon says, is accurately proportioned to the healthiness of the tenement. Restrictions upon the conduct of lodging houses is one other method by which some amelioration, amelioration of pauper existence may be effected. A ragged dormitory within each union would, Mr. Simon thinks, be highly useful in the respect and defray its own cost, and certainly our experiences of the provisions already made in the various parts of the metropolis for the accommodation of the poor tend to show that while securing something of comfort to them, and something of additional security to the universal well-being, we do not supersede those commercial laws which require an ample return upon the expenditure of capital. This was printed in the Times on December 31st, 1850, and it was reran again in January 2nd, 1851.